Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFLTV. Tyson Fury press conference here in Morecambe, back in, I was going to say sunny Morecambe, but it's definitely not. You, Paris?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, what a miserable day. This is not usually what it's like, is it?
It is actually. 95% of the time it rains in Morecambe, but you might come on the odd sunny day.
Less than 40 days until, the most sought after fight for a very long time, the undisputed fight between your husband and Alexander Usyk. Does this feel any different? Is this the same? Is it just you're used to whatever fight is, it is what it is?
I think this just feels the same. Yeah, it's actually a bit freaky how mundane it is to say he's back fighting regular and he's fighting for the undisputed world, whatever it is, heavyweight champ thing. And it doesn't feel as crazily exciting as I maybe thought it would have, but I knew Tyson wanted to do this. I said to you a little while ago, I thought that the only fight he'd really want to do is this, and evidently it's here, so it'll be good though. Once Tyson does it, I know he's got his head screwed on. I think he's a little bit, deep down inside, a bit more excited about this one than he has the last few fights, so it'll be a good fight.
Obviously the delay, shall we say, or the postponement from the original fight that was meant to have happened back in February, but he touched on it in that press conference and said he was depressed for around a day. But how was his mood when it was kind of evident that that cut was going to keep him out of fighting in February?
I was at home and I got, I realised it was getting to about 12 o'clock and I hadn't heard from Tyson that morning, so I called him and I said, "What you doing?" And I got sent back a big picture of a cut, and he said, "It's all effed," to be polite. He said, it's all off. He said, I've got a big cut. So then I called him, he said, "Don't say anything." So I called him about a couple of hours later and had a chat, tried to call his brothers and say what's happening, what have they done, what's going on, get it stitched right, make sure you get the right plastic surgeons in. And obviously I knew at that time it was off, and yet he was still saying like, "Oh, I don't know, I might be able to fight. And I was grabbing hold of his brothers and saying, "He ain't fighting, obviously, don't let him say that."
Well, he still wanted to fight, yeah.
He still wanted to fight, but obviously you can't fight when your eyes hanging open. So anyways, the fight obviously got postponed. He came home as soon as he could. I think it was only a day or so later. We went and got his eye checked out by a surgeon over here, and they said it'll heal perfectly, so that was all good news. And then obviously, as he said, he had a few days of being down, played with the kids and sort of perked himself back up, but then the fight got rescheduled pretty quickly, and with that his head was just straight back onto the game.
I mean, I spoke to Tyson about this, in Saudi Arabia, about that 24-hour period before the fight was re-announced. All these kind of conspiracy theorists online suggesting that Tyson had cut himself or got someone to cut himself, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. But
do you know what? I saw, I don't know how the video got released, but there was a small clip, like a blurry clip of the actual video, and people were saying, "Oh, it's fake." I could hear Shane in the background going, "Oh, look what you've done!" And I thought, "Oh, I bet he was scared." So yeah, the fact that the people was questioning it, even with video evidence, was crazy. I mean, I don't know how the evidence even got out. I don't know who was recording it, but you could see what happened, and you could see clearly everyone in the room was disappointed. But these things do happen, and it's one of that. But I know he's got a new head guard.
Thanks for letting us know. The last time I actually interviewed you, which was in the lead up to the Ngannou fight, obviously at that point you didn't know that there potentially could be two fights with Alexander Usyk. I'm sure you've had time now to digest that, to know kind of how your year as well may pan out this year for 2024.
Yeah, I've definitely just come to the full conclusion. Tyson's in it till he's about 40-year-old. I've given now. I can't tell him to stop. He won't stop. He wants to do it and he enjoys it. And if you've just heard Turkish Shaliks, he thinks he's having another 10 fights.
Yeah, what did you think of that from the message there?
I just nodded along because I thought, you know what, if they're both happy to do it, Tyson loves fighting, Tyson loves boxing, and I do think he can't see any other sort of path for him. So while he's a young, fit, healthy man, I think he's just going to keep doing it. So I've just got to support him.
7 to 10 fights, Cole.
Yeah, I know.
You'll be going grey by then.
Yeah, I will, yeah. Tyson won't be, he's bald. But yeah, it's one of them. He wants to do it, so I can't really stop him, can I? I've tried to stop him. It ain't working, and he loves it, and he's on top of the world. So what more can you say? He's going to do it, and he'll enjoy every minute.
Tyson will do what he wants to do.
Exactly, evidently, we all know that.
Just a final one, obviously no case of overlooking this is a huge fight on May the 18th, but for a kind of a plan at some point this year, as fight fans, the fight we still want to see is that Anthony Joshua fight. In your opinion, What is the likelihood of that fight happening? Because whenever I ask Tyson, he's like, obviously, sometimes he says that fight is never going to happen, etc. But in your opinion, do you think we see that fight?
I think that fight has to happen for the boxing fans. I just think it's just two great British heavyweight champions. Whatever Anthony Joshua's past has been, he's done well in the last few fights, and he's definitely got the ability to take a fight with Tyson. I know that Tyson would win, but I know the fans want to see it, so I think it'll happen. I do. I can't deny it. I know Tyson sometimes questions the matter, and I think he's a little bit of a temper with things that's happened in the past, trying to get the fight on at times. I think he thinks, oh well, frig you now, basically. But I do think for the boxing promoters, I think they'll make it happen.
But without overlooking anything on May the 18th, that's the task and focus in hand.
Yeah, of course. Tyson's fully focused on the fight that's happening now. He doesn't like looking ahead to other fights, and he won't do. He's got this fight and he's got a rematch, and I think he'll enjoy every minute of it.
Okay, Paris, listen, thank you very much for your time, and we'll probably catch you next in Saudi Arabia.
Yep, very good. See you over in Saudi.
Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.